Good morning, everybody. This is Jen here from Memory Keeping with Jen. Today, I'm going to have you scrapbook with me. I'm going to do a 2-page spread. Not exactly sure. I'm not using a template. I'm just going to kind of, I'll say, wing it this time. So hopefully it comes out okay. I did spend a few minutes preparing the supplies that I'm going to use. I have 2 blue pages as my base pages. I have this floral decorative paper that I'm going to use. I have a light green that I'm going to use for a border, and then I have a yellow that I'm going to use for a border. I have my photo trimmer. I have my photo trimming grids that I've never used before, so we'll see how that works. I have 2 tape runners. I have the mini tape runner, and I have my regular tape runner. Again, the mini tape runner is denoted because the cartridge is red, so very easy to determine which is which. So I'm going to start, so I have my background. I'm going to start with my trimmer. And again, I'm just I don't have a template that I'm following or a project recipe that I'm following this time. I'm just going to kind of go with it and see what happens. So I'm going to cut this. So what I'm going to do here with this page is I'm going to do a center cut. So I want it to be not all the way to the edge. So I'm going to trim off, I think I'm going to start with just trimming off 1 inch so far. And then I'm going to cut it in half to see. I'm going to do it in 6s. So this is now 6 by 11. I'm not sure if it's still going to be bigger than I want it to be. So I'm going to lay it out and kind of see if that's how I want it. And yep, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to set this aside for now because I know the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to punch. I have the floral peaks punch and I have the branch punch. I keep them in the boxes. My craft space, I keep all of my punches in drawers, like a plastic drawer bin system. And when I put them in the drawer, I have them alphabetically. I put the name on the top so I can easily pull them out and see what I have. I don't have every punch that Creative Memories has ever made. I do have a lot of them, but I don't have every single one. I tend to buy the punches that I feel will go with a lot of different things. So I'm going to start with the floral peaks. And again, you always want to line your paper to the black line right there. And then you're going to go forward and you're going to just line up the design. Whoops, I missed a punch. I'm going to line up right there. No big deal. Can't even really tell now, can you? I'm going to line it up. And this one's going to make a mess, so I'm just going to pick up my paper and put it in the trash after. And see, that just easily comes right off. So after I'm done, I'm going to use my trimmer and I'm going to trim that off. I will flip it around and do the other side first before using my trimmer. So it's attached here, not a problem at all. I'm going to get my scissors. And I'm just going to trim that right there. And I'm going to trim it right there. And it has just a little bit still stuck right here on the edge. Sometimes that just pops right off. Okay. A little bit of waste, not a big deal. I'm going to close that. And I did 2 because I have obviously 2 pages. So I'm going to do 1 up here and 1 here. Let me toss this in the trash. And again, I'm just kind of trying it out. I have to kind of figure out my layout, what I want to do. I kind of, again, have a thought in my head, whether it comes out the way I want it to. So this one is an older one. So if you see, it does not have the black lines. However, they're on the inside. Might be kind of hard to see. If I had my marker in front of me, I would draw it on the outside. I haven't used this punch in a while, so I was not aware that it did not have the lines on the outside. And I just moved my punch, so you'll see my scraps there. And again, these little scraps, I'll say, wisps, are because I didn't exactly have my punch lined up, but it's not a problem. You just pull them off. You can cut them off with your scissors. They're usually fairly easy to come off. But it happens. Again, the angle I'm punching at, I usually stand when I scrapbook. I have a countertop that I stand at. And right now I'm sitting, so it's a little bit harder for me to see as I'm sitting. This punch is very versatile. Again, I try to buy punches that I'm going to use more than once. I do have like the Christmas ones and spider webs. I'm not really a big Halloween person, so I honestly haven't even used the spider web punch yet. But the branch one, this particular one, I like for, obviously these is these are Easter photos I'm doing, or you can use it for Halloween, for apple picking, weddings, if you have an outside wedding. I'm just going to toss the scraps. Okay. I'm going to cut my floral peaks. I'm going to cut it right at 1 inch. And I measured it this way. So, yep, that's exactly what I wanted. So I lined it up with the inch on this side. That one's a little bit off, but that's all right. All right, now I'm going to lay this out and see if I'm getting the effect that I want to have. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to, so we will see. I'm actually going to trim this one just a little bit more. I want to kind of align a little bit with the other one, so. When it's small like this, I like to hold it in the middle so that it doesn't move. And it still moved a little bit anyway. It's kind of hard when it's very thin. I go a little bit slower when it's this thin. It didn't really cut much. Let me move it a little bit more. There we go. That's better. Okay. I'm going to do that. I already know I have to trim my photos. I have not done that yet. I wanted to get the layout done first. To see if I even like it. And I can already tell I feel like it needs a little bit something more kind of over here. So I feel like I need to pull in the yellow just a little bit more. So maybe what I'll do, I'm thinking maybe I will do, I have this extra cardstock left. And I'm thinking that maybe I will use it, let's see. I think I'm just going to do some, let's see, that's 6 by 11. I think I'm going to do some 4.5. I'm going to start with 4.5. 4.5 by 5. 4.5 by 6. I'm not going to do full photo match. I just want a little something. I feel like it just needs a little something more. So I'm going to do that one right there, and I'm going to do that one right there. I'll do that one. All right, my photos again are not trimmed yet. They will be trimmed. I'm going to trim them to different sizes. And I want them to go this. I already know I want them to go this way. Okay, I think I'm ready to trim. I'm going to go ahead and trim and lay everything out and see how I like it. Again, some people use repositionable tape at this point to hold their layout in place. I don't use repositionable tape. I just kind of work over my project, and if I need to make a little change, I will make a little change. I'm going to slide this up just a little bit. I don't want to use pictures any smaller than 4x4. So these are the photo trimming grids that came out earlier in, probably about a month or two ago. We're in 2024 right now. It's October 5th today. I've never used them before, but I like that they have the lines on them. And there's a little clip as well that you can use as a key ring. They were very hard to come by. So my photo is already 4x6, so I'm going to take my photo pencil and I'm just going to draw where I want to cut. And I like this because I can see the photo behind it, so I can line up where I want to cut. So if I want to do a little bit that way, versus what I've done in the past and what I've always done until I got these, again, this is my first time using them, is cut, look at it, cut, look at it, cut, look at it. Okay, let's see where I'm going to go. This one I'm going to leave whole. This one I'm going to trim. And the photo pencil does come off. So if I wanted to change where I was going to cut, I certainly could do so. Let's see, I'm going to leave that one big, and I'm going to leave that one. Does anybody else talk to themselves when they scrapbook? I always do, nonstop. Sometimes I have the radio on. Sometimes I'll have a YouTube video on in the background. Usually, always have some kind of sound. Sometimes my kids sit down here with me and just watch. They'll stay for 10 or 15 minutes. My youngest son, who's actually 14, every now and then he'll ask if he can help, and that doesn't normally last long. But of course, I always say yes if he asks to help, because any quality time with a 14-year-old is, I'll take it. All right, now this is the old style photo trimmer, which I absolutely love. And you'll see I have a mark right here, and that was because I was trying to, the lines are kind of hard to see. And I marked 3.5, because a lot of times I'll do my photos 3.5 by 5.5. And that way I easily have my 3.5 mark. I have not yet purchased the new photo trimmer, honestly, because I just bought this one about 2 months before they retired it. So, and I didn't need another one at the moment, but I've heard mixed reviews. It is a guillotine type. It doesn't have a locking arm. So I've heard of some folks that aren't quite as careful, or were not expecting the arm to kind of flop around, but it is nice in that it fits right in with a 12-inch photo trimmer. That I would really like to have. And I think I trimmed one too many, but that's okay. right, let's see. I'm going to do my placements. I'm going to do that one there. And that one there. That one. Kind of want the pictures a little bit closer together. Actually kind of thinking like that, and then having a little bit of space over there. I think I'm going to trim this one. And you see, I'm not using my photo grid. I probably should. There we go. All right, so I'm on the fence here. I'm not crazy about it. So I need to do a little bit of work here to make it the way I want it to be. And if I was live, I could ask for feedback, but obviously I'm not, so let me slide this down. Let's go this way a little bit with it. So I had a couple of different thoughts in my head about how I can make this work, so I'm gonna go like this, and let's see what that, no, I don't like that. Almost thinking maybe I'm just going to take it out altogether. Or maybe I will just do just a little bit right here. No, I think I'm just going to take it out altogether. Slide this down. Whoops. Slide this down a little bit. That right there. I want to see the yellow on the top and the bottom. And if you see, I did this intentionally. So I have the two smaller pictures on the top, the larger one on the bottom. And then I kind of did the opposite, two smaller on the bottom and the larger one on top. And I think, let's see, still kind of thinking here. I feel like I just need a little something over here. I feel like that would work right there. I'm going to trim that and see how I like that. Yep, I'm good with that, like that. And I'm thinking maybe I'll do the same on this one down here. After all, I'm going to cut it right there. I think I'm good with that. Slide these up just a little bit. So they're off just a little. My paper's off just a little. No big deal. So I want to have just a little bit of yellow. My intent is to have this on the yellow and then this kind of with the yellow as well. So that's what I'm just trying to line up here. All right, I'm gonna go with this. I'm going to start by adhering this, my borders. I'm using the mini tape runner. Again, don't need a lot. I don't find it sticks very well. Not every page has to be elaborate, at least not for me. I like quality, but I also know that realistically I have a lot of quantity. I have a lot to do, and I don't want to stress myself out trying to make every single page perfect and above the top, over the top. I do love Creative Memories project recipes. I find them to be very helpful since I started using them, because I'm not always the most creative person. I love to scrapbook, but sometimes I have creative blocks. So I have several binders full of page ideas, which can get very, very overwhelming at times when you have too much. So I tend to, when I look for a layout design, I have my photos together first. I have an idea of what color I want to use for my paper, because I try to coordinate somewhat with the colors in my photo. And then it's based on the number of pictures I have. And the orientation. The orientation also plays a huge part. All right, so I'm going to lay my photos out again before I adhere them to make sure that they are exactly where I want them. And I don't mess up. I don't want to mess up where I'm putting my photos. And then from here, all right, I will lay these ones down. Just a little bit. Actually, I'm going to move this over just a little. See, I didn't push it down all the way, so again, not repositionable, but because I didn't push it down all the way, the same thing with this one, it was easy for me to just lift them up and move them. The longer they sit there, the more stick that they'll get. I do have some Easter stickers I'm going to go through. I might put a couple little stickers on there. Let's see. I appreciate y'all sticking with me here, keeping me company while I'm going scrapbooking. These photos are all from 2010. Taken me a while to work on this album. This year I completed Christmas of 2014, I believe it was, and then I completed, my stepdaughter graduated high school this year, so I completed an album for her in about 2.5 months. That was actually that was a tough one. There was some long nights doing that one to get it done in time for graduation, but I did, and she loved it. Again, not pushing down all the way because I might end up changing them just a little once I get the bottom ones in here. And I'm still trying to align them with the pages, the photos on the other side. If I had my ruler out, then I could check and see if they were lined up. These ones need to come down just a little bit. Whoops. And this one's down pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, that one's down. Okay. I'm going to grab my stickers and see if I'm going to use any stickers. Just a few. I don't really know that I'm going to use any. I kind of like the way it is at the moment, so. Let's see. I think I kind of like this one a little bit. And I'm going to put that one. I'm going to go right here with that one. The hunt is on. And this was actually my son's first Easter, so I can put that one right there. That will match. And maybe one more. I think I'm going to put this one right over here. And I think I'm good with that. I don't know that I really want to do any more. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me. If you have any comments, questions, something maybe you would have done a little bit differently, feel free to comment below. And as always, happy scrapping. Take care.